Why, oh why do you tease us? Well, I wouldn't say it's exactly a Groundhog's Day with this one. I mean, we still lost, right? But I feel like with this game, they showed more heart, you know? Like they weren't just like going through the motions like with this game. It really felt like with this game. What the fuck is going on? Excuse me guys, I gotta move because some homeless people decided to come. That sounds really bad, but what are you doing? Now he's randomly hitting the light posts. I'm sorry. This is very random. And I would like to actually do a recap, but. Anyway, now let's actually get into the recap. What was I saying? Oh, so anyway, I feel like in this game that the team showed more heart, right? Now, people screwed up, coaches screwed up, but overall, I'm not. I'm annoyed how the game ended, but I'm not like completely like, oh fuck this, whatever. Let's get into it. So in the first quarter, it seemed like it was just a very tough game in general. The Chiefs only scored one touchdown the whole game. They just kicked field goals the rest of the time. And then let's see. So they kicked a field goal first. Then we kicked a field goal. Then we missed a field goal. Then they scored a touchdown. Then they missed a field goal. And that was the biggest thing. It's like don't get me wrong, I'll get into the call eventually. The call was bullshit, but it's also like, come on, we missed 3 kicks. And if we would have made even two, of those kicks, if we only missed one kick, we still would have won. But if we made even 2 of those kicks, we would have won the game. That's how close this game was. And then second quarter, the Chiefs got 2 field goals, and we got 2 touchdowns. So one touchdown was to Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers played amazing in this game. You could see like as he was getting more yards, he was gaining more and more confidence, and I really liked it. And there was this one throw, I think it was in the first quarter, where Aidan O'Connell threw this freaking dime. Like it was like he threw it to Jacoby Myers, and it was like a perfectly thrown pass in like a really tight area. So I'm like, thank God for Aidan O'Connell. And guy, oh well, actually, I spoke too soon. He didn't. Well, he did. It wasn't his fault. So I'll say this: we finally had someone playing at quarterback who didn't have an interception. It only took us 12 games to do it, but we finally did it. Now we still had a turnover like in every game, but it wasn't the fault of the quarterback. So we have to applaud for that. Yeah, so the first touchdown was by Brock Bowers. Second one was by was it McCormick? No. It wasn't McCormick. It was Trey Tucker. Oh, this pass was nice too. It's like he just and I love it because Trey Tucker is so fast. He just beat him, and yeah, man, that play was really good. So we got 2 touchdowns. Then after those 2 touchdowns, the Chiefs kicked another field goal. We had a missed field goal, and then the fumble, quote unquote, and then it was the end of the game. Also, the defense did really well in this game too. I think we had like 5 or 6 sacks, something like that. So I feel like this is the first game I feel like in this season where we were actually on sync, where both sides of the ball were on sync. Because normally what's been happening for a majority of the season is the defense has been playing okay or good, and then the offense has been playing like shit. So this is one of the few games where I feel like that both sides are on the ball, that both sides of the ball were in sync. And then how did Aidan O'Connell do? Aidan O'Connell had a great game. He did. And then it's like, oh, it just irritates me because I feel like we were the better team. But because of a stupid mistake and because of missing field goals, we lost. Like you look at the I'm not a big stat guy, but you look at the team stats back to back. We had more yards than the Chiefs. We had more first downs than the Chiefs, and we won the time of possessions, but we still lost the game. I'm like, fuck, man. It's like it's always something. It's always something. Like I told you guys before, we are cursed. We are cursed as a team and as an organization. We are cursed. But okay, what was I gonna say? Oh, Aidan O'Connell. He had a really good game. There were some times where he underthrew it a little bit, but obviously, if you're playing with a broken thumb, I think his thumb's mostly healed. But And that makes me wonder. It's like, how would it have turned out, with him starting versus Minshew? Like, I don't know. I think we probably could have won a couple more games with him, to be honest. But I'm not saying that he's like our franchise quarterback, that he's the future. But I think we definitely could have won more games with him rather than Minshew. So let's get to it. Let's get to the big issue, the big grievance with this game. We stopped the Chiefs with like 2 minutes left, and I loved how much Mahomes was like crying like a little bitch, like yeah, like he like threw down the football, like I didn't score a touchdown, ugh. Like he just did like a little bitch, he was crying on like a little bitch on the sidelines, and then so we are going down the field. So it's like, okay, 5 yard pass, 6 yard pass, running it, 5 yard pass, 6 yard, and like we're marching down the field. We get to their like what, their 30 or their 40, so it would have been like a 50 something yard kick, maybe like a 50, like a 50 yard kick. And on third down, this dumb fuck center, I don't know, he did it okay throughout the whole game, but now on the last drive, in the last seconds, he choked. He choked and he threw it too early. Aiden O'Connell wasn't ready. It hit Aiden O'Connell like on the shoulder, bounced off of him, and because the ball went backwards, quote unquote, they considered it a pass, which is such the biggest pile of horse shit I've ever heard. But okay, whatever. And the Chiefs recovered it, and then because it was a penalty, because the initial penalty was it wasn't offside. Fuck, what was it? I'm blanking on the term, whatever. It wasn't like a false start, but it was kind of similar to that. So if we would have gotten that penalty, we probably would have been like a 5 yard penalty, and it would have been like 3rd and 8 or something. And then, but because of that, the Chiefs denied the penalty, like, oh well, we'll just take the ball, and then they got the ball back, and then they won the game. And I'm like, this is the biggest like. No, don't get me wrong. We lost the game ourselves. It wasn't totally this call. Like I said, we missed 3 field goals, and we missed a couple of opportunities to score. But this call was some of the biggest bullshit I've ever seen. It's not as bad as some calls I've seen. Like, probably one of the worst ones was the index card game. I don't know how many of you guys remember that one from like 2016 or 2017. That call was bullshit too. But this one, it's just like, of course, because the Chiefs, and this is what irritates me. And people are gonna probably give me shit for people. Like, oh, you just don't like regurgitate the same shit again and again from their echo chambers. Oh, well, you don't like greatness. You're just jealous. The Chiefs are a dynasty. Like, shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear that bullshit. Your own team doesn't even admit that it's a dynasty. So why the fuck are you parading around like it's a dynasty? But this is what pisses me off about the Chiefs. The Chiefs are not a good team. I'm going to say it again. The Chiefs are not a good team. People are like, well, Apache, they're 11-1. They're better than your team. They just clinched the playoff spot. They're probably going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, but they're not. Their record does not reflect them as a team. Not only against the Raiders, but other games. They barely beat the fucking Panthers last week. So I don't want to hear shit about them being a good team. But it's any given Sunday. I don't give a fuck. The Panthers are one of the worst teams in the league, and they almost lost the Chiefs. Almost lost to them. And even today, the Chiefs were not the better team. They lucked out that we missed the field goals, and then they had the ref help a little bit at the end. Now, it was our fault for missing the field goals, but come on, they lucked out a little bit. You can't sit there and tell me, oh, the Chiefs are a good team. Oh, Chiefs Kingdom, Chiefs Dynasty. I don't want to hear that shit. Because they barely win by the skin of their teeth every fucking week. Every week it's the same thing. They barely win. But they still won. Don't matter. I'm sorry, but that just pisses me off when I see shit like that and people just act like, oh, the Chiefs are so amazing. They barely fucking win. And half the time they have the refs help. No, I won't give them that for this game, but they had the refs help in the past with other teams. So I don't want to hear shit about it. Oh, like, shut up. I don't want to hear it. Go back to fucking your sister in the trailer, okay? Okay. Okay. I need to calm down. Oh man. But yeah, no, I'm probably gonna get tons of shit from Chiefs fans. I don't care, bro. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, I'm still, even though we lost this game, I'm still proud of our performance. And some people actually wanted us to lose this game because they want us to tank, which like I said previously, I don't agree with. Especially if it's a rival team like this, I want to beat them. And we almost did, but then we got teased out of it, which pisses me off. But overall, I'm satisfied with how we performed as a team, minus the special teams and minus that center. Well, no, I won't say that. We did have a good return, minus the kicker and the center. Those two people I'm mad at, and also Antonio Pierce because it's third down. You're in field goal range. Why are you going for it? Why are you hiking it again? I thought they misspiked it, but what I saw was that they were actually in they weren't in, I forgot what that formation is called. They weren't in like the formation where you like spike the ball. They were actually in shotgun formation, so they were actually going to try to get more yards. But it's just like, dude, if you're nearby there, you're within Carlsen's field goal range. He's been missing all day. Maybe he thought because he was missing, he wanted to get closer. But I'm like, dude, you're nearby within this range. Why not just kick the field goal? So that was a little bit of mismanagement by Antonio Pierce, and he also shouldn't have used that timeout when he did. He should have waited to use the timeout. So game management still continues to be an issue with him. It seems like, but I don't know. Hopefully he'll get better, but I don't even know if he's going to be here next season. I'm hearing rumblings that Bill Belichick might come back. I'm like, oh god. So next Sunday we face the Buccaneers. I'll say we win that game by 7. I'll say we win that game by 7 because of the despite losing the good performance we had. I think that'll give us some motivation to go forward. That we were almost there, but not quite, and we have to keep try to keep scoring no matter what, so it doesn't come down to bullshit calls like this in the future. But anyway, very random. We had some homeless people interrupt it, and then I went on a whole tirade about the Chiefs. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.